Listen to what George Carlin has to say here, and listen to the crowd. And look at the look on his face. He doesn't even twinge a little bit as if he's making jokes. But yet they all find it funny. Unfortunately, they've proven his point, at least in America. And yeah, America is one big stinking ball of shit. Most of the world is turning out like it. Well, the Western world, okay? The Western world. Just watch this. Oh, we can get it up here, and I'll just hold it there. 50-cent production. Priceless.
A lot of these professional mommies, boy, they think there's nothing better than having a baby. Oh, they think it's the biggest thing in the world, like it's a big event, having a baby. I call it pumping out a unit. That's all they're doing. Polluting the earth with these creatures who have no future. They have no future. Have you pictured what this planet is going to be like in 40 to 50 years? It's going to be a big smoking ball of shit. A big smoking, flaming, stinking ball of gaseous shit. It's irresponsible to have more than one child. Have one. Have one child. Replacement value for yourself. That's all. Don't even replace your husband. Don't replace your husband. No. He's done enough fucking damage as it is.
Listen to the crowd, look at the look on his face. Listen to how they react to what he's saying, but look at the look on his face as well. I still have hope that we can not turn it around, stop it in its tracks. This mentality of excuse me. I just had a big marinated roast lamb. Beautiful. The simple things in life. Now, this nonsense of AI can't be stopped. No, it can't if you're going to fight it. Of course it can't. Anything that the powers that be want, they get it by having us fight against them and each other and idiocracy bullshit. Idiocratic. I won't even call it ideological, it's idiocratic. Idiots. It's the politics of idiots. Idiot politics. And everyone's full of idiot politics. Anybody that thinks politics is a good thing is a fucking idiot. Unless it serves your best interest. And we can't stop it. How are we going to stop it? Nobody said we ever had to create it. See the difference? We can't stop AI, but we can stop it from being created in the first place. Like, I honestly believe there's still hope. I do. I don't give up hope. I don't give up hope, ever. Giving up hope is... it's a defeatist attitude. It's pathetic, it's weak, it's soft, it's... all you so-called Christians out there, since when did God say you could give up and just praying is enough? Never said that, ever. Never did he say that it's okay to quit and just give up and just go, oh well, and be a helpless sack of worthlessness. There's no point to you if that's the case. Why are you even here now? You may as well just go and self-delete now. If that's your attitude, what's the point? That's a pretty fucking weak mindset. Considering you think that you walk in Christ and you have to thank the Christ and Christ is King and Christ can do anything, and which, yeah. King of Kings, Lord of Lords, God of Gods, Adonai, Yahuwah, the Most High. But yet you give up and roll over and just cower and submit to defeat. And beg for what is rightfully yours in the first place. You beg the laws and the commandments and doctrines of men for your privileges back instead of taking them back because they're God-given rights. They're not privileges. They're not privileges to be taken. It's your freedom to take back. They're not privileges to surrender. Did God say you could surrender? No, not once. Even if you don't believe in God, what a weak attitude. You just give up, do you? Because it's too hard. It's too hard. No, what's hard is watching you all surrender to it and beg for shit back, thinking that you're going to get it back by protesting and rallying and getting around with zero mentality, zero purpose, zero strategy. You know, hoping and wishing isn't a strategy. Begging is not a plan. Okay, that's a sign of helplessness. Instead of begging them for your shit back, how about you beg God for the fucking strength, wisdom and perseverance to carry on without them, without it. You've handed your entire life and your livelihood and your right to live, your right to even exist to someone else called government. Why did you do that? Why have you done that? Can you explain any good reason why you have handed over your God-given sovereignty? Sovereignty is not granted. Sovereignty is not, it's not royalty. Sovereignty is not sovereigns of money or sovereigns of gold. You call yourself sovereign citizens. What? What even is that? That's not a thing. You're either a citizen of government or you're a sovereign of God. A sovereign is man in the flesh, living on God's earth, obeying God's law. That's what a sovereign is. Man in the flesh, living on God's earth, obeying God's law. Obeying the law. The commandments and doctrines of men are not the law. They're the commandments and doctrines of men. Designed by the men with little green triangles so they can chase little green rectangles. Wealth that has no value. Other than that which we allow it to have, other than that what we are led to believe it has, until it has none. Have you looked at your grocery, the cost of your groceries lately? Compared it to what it was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Pretty sure that wealth has no value. Other than that which we allow it to have. They charge that much, we pay it. And we work harder and harder for less and less. That's not sustainable. Even in a digital currency with a universal basic income in a 15-minute digital smart city, with social credit scores and a carbon footprint tracker. Hello, that's a prison. That's a prison. Welcome to prison earth. Planet prison, prison Earth, whatever you want to call it. That's a prison. Allow me to retort and elaborate. When you go to prison, you get an allowance. It's called a canteen allowance. It's universal. It's a universal basic income of a prison. You have so much that you can spend. You can spend that on some little luxuries like a tub of yogurt, toilet paper and toothpaste and a toothbrush and some soap. Little things like that. You no longer can have tobacco in prison. But you can get nicotine patches and tea bags. So they boil up nicotine patches with tea bags and then get people to smuggle in tallow papers. They dry out the tea bags and use the tea leaves as tobacco. It's not real good for you, but hey. But it's funny how it's near impossibility to get an actual cigarette in jail. They got good ice. There's better ice in prison than what's out here. They got a gym you can use, some little creature comforts, some little things here and there. But you own nothing. You're starting to see, is this starting to sound familiar from somewhere? You have a universal basic income, you own nothing. You're kept busy, given games to play. You're kept busy. You can read books, but only certain books. No books that will educate. You can't get access to the books now that will educate you on how to get your ass back out of there. Not really. The books that will teach you how to use the system against yourself. Nothing. Are you happy in prison? The only difference between there and what's coming down the pipe for us is our walls are digital. And that's our prison guard. It's prison. We're all allowing them to build a digital fucking nightmare for us. A prison. What did you do wrong? What did you do to deserve to have your whole town turned into a prison? Where you can only travel. It's 15 minutes to everything you need. You can have limited conjugal visits to other towns. Because soon you won't be able to drive there yourself. You'll only be able to catch a bus. Wait for it. The train lines will start getting built soon. Where else did that happen? Auschwitz? Auschwitz 1, Auschwitz 2. There was more than one Auschwitz. They didn't have buses per se then, but man did they have long trains. How many towns around the place do you know of that are having a new police station with a court attached, built? With holding cells underneath. My prediction for Bernie for 2027 probably started 2026. The Bernie Tafe farm is going to become a prison. That's my theory. We're all going to have our own prisons, our own prisons for those who try to escape the digital prison and just want to live a free life. That's dystopian, isn't it? It sounds like a dystopian movie, doesn't it? Well, go back 30 years, 40 years. I'll just go back 40 years to when I was 12 years old and I look at the freedoms I had then. I go back to when I was 9 years old. 43 years. I had 2 rifles and that was fine. So long as I was supervised with my parents when I used them. By the time I was 13, we was walking to the tip with our 22s and sorting out the rats and feral cats. And that was fine. Nobody even bothered with us. Me and a couple of mates walking up the road with 22 rifles each. Nobody batted an eyelid. None of us shot each other. None of us done anything dumb. Maybe with slug guns, air rifles. You dig a slug pellet out with a pair of pliers. Did it hurt? Eh? Did you do it twice? No. It was a lesson learned. By shooting something, we learned valuable lessons. Valuable lessons. That first thing that you shot, whether it be a wallaby, a rabbit, feral cat. The starlings with your air rifle making nests in your roof, causing bad diseases in your house. Oh yeah, they do. The bird dies in your eaves, and next thing you know, you have little fucking weird black spots showing up on the underside of your ceiling. And that's because something died above there, or there's been a rat's nest there. Yeah, we didn't have that once. But when you made that first thing, you killed that first thing, and you watched the life disappear. That sorted out the psychos from everybody else. Jesus, I don't think we should let that. We won't take him shooting no more. And the parents knew not to give them a gun. Yeah, I don't think we should give little Johnny a gun. In fact, I think we need to get little Johnny some help. If the first thing you killed brought a bit of a smile to your face and a bit of excitement, some boys had an erection. That happens, Jeffrey Dahmer style. Hard conversations need to be had. Without anybody else's permission. We don't need the government's permission to have a conversation. We don't need the government's permission or the internet Karen to tell us whether we can have a conversation or not. You don't need the internet to have a conversation. Nor do you need the phone. You need to talk to one another. You need to stop being divided, fragmented, disunified. We need to unionise and work out how we're going to live without that, without all that bullshit. Because we did it once before. For thousands of years. You don't need it, people. We don't need any of that shit. We don't want it. Trust me, you don't want it. The technology you own now owns you. The technology you allowed into your life now owns you. It is used to rule you, to rule your life. Oh, you need an app for that. You got to do this, you got to do that. Classic example. My Commodore station wagon that was clamped by the police for 28 days on the 30th of September is still sitting in my driveway clamped. So I held back, holding back, to drag things out. They're now going to fuck me around with court. No, well, they think they are, but they're not. Like I've said all along, I don't care if I walk. I don't care if I don't have a licence again. I really don't. You're going to take our cars anyway, right? They're going to take our cars. They're going to take. You'll be able to have a car sitting in your driveway, and you'll be able to look at it. The car in your shed, you'll be able to look at it. But you won't be able to buy any fuel to make it run. You won't be able to service it. You won't be able to get oil. Engine oil for it. Everything's going electric. So I really don't. It's neither here nor there to me. They keep thinking they're taking things from me. I know how to live without them quite fine. I'm quite happy with contentment. Contentment's better than the extreme emotion of trying to be happy all the time. It doesn't work. You can't. It doesn't work. What a pipe dream. You will own nothing and be happy? What are they going to do? drug everyone up, give everyone free crack, so they can have a false happiness, live in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. It doesn't work that way. It's going to fall over. It has to fall over. There's no other way that can work. Honestly, I don't believe we're at end times. I don't. You need to stop that shit. That's a defeated attitude. We may know the year, but we may not know the day or the hour. Why not? If you know the day and the hour, if it's that easy to figure out, you'll give up. It's not end times until we fucking will say so. If you're going to roll over and die, well, it's end times, isn't it? It's only the end of an era. Planet's not going anywhere. As a species, we're not going anywhere. Eugenics fails. Okay? Eugenics fails. Transhumanism fails. And we have heaven on earth. But only for those who are willing to fight for it. How do we fight for it? We walk away from the system. When we fight for survival. Be a bit smarter. Fight for survival. Think a bit more with your heart. Have some heart with your spine. Love thy brethren. Do you get it yet? Are you starting to understand the practicality of it? There is a practical side to it. Very practical. Practical to the point of, do you know anybody that knows how to make water and shit run uphill? Do you know anybody that grows food? Do you know a doctor? Do you know a mechanic? Do you know someone, do you know anyone with good animal husbandry skills? Do you know how to bio-crop instead of monocrop? Natural bio-cropping. You know, the way that God intended things to grow. You can't have blackberries without the thistles. You see, my nan used to make blackberry jam. Everyone used to make blackberry jam. Blackberries were a thing. But nobody wants the thistles, you know. They're not prepared to go through a few thistles to get the good fruit. I think there's a little lesson in that on its own, isn't there? If you're not prepared to put on the thick gloves and the thick skin, if you're not prepared to put on the thick skin to cop a few thistles to get the good fruit, then you don't deserve any fruit. You're not prepared to do what it takes to get it. You just want it. You just expect to have it given to you by a government. You want some more, please? Can I have some more? Can I have some more privileges, please? Please don't take my privileges away. Can I have some more privileges? If I throw a tantrum in a few thousand of us out the front of Parliament House, can we have some privileges back? Why are you even asking? Like a question that I've posed in description in where are we? Here we go. A parasite without a host starves to death. Who runs Australia? Who runs Australia? Or the world? Wrong question. Why do we let them? That's the right question. How do we fix it? We take responsibility. There's the solution. We take responsibility for ourselves. We don't need somebody else to do it for us. If you want a country back, then all you need to do is own it. Take it back. Don't ask for it back. Don't argue with somebody that it's yours until they let you have it back. It's yours. It's ours. It is ours. You don't need permission to take back what you own. It's ours. It's our country. It's our infrastructure. It's our Commonwealth that built it. It's all ours. That's not a self-entitled attitude. We built it. We paid for it. We earned it. We own it. You can't beg a parasite to leave while allowing them to feed off of you. That's a fool's errand. A parasite dies without a host. Stop feeding the parasite. Just stop giving government and every governing arm, every government body, everything that you feed with your taxes is a parasite. They're all parasites. They're the self-entitled pricks. They're parasites. Don't feed it, it dies. It goes away, it dies. Then it comes to the case of, okay, well, either you roll up your sleeves and take responsibility for yourself, or you're going to starve. And either way, this is of no consequence to us. Why? Because you're a parasite. You either stop being a parasite or you die. Having compassion for a parasite is a fool's errand. How do you all not see that? How do you all not grasp that and act upon it and it's right. Just like the end of the labyrinth. You have no power over me. And Jareth throws a bubble up in the air and it pops. Everything that they offer us, all of our dreams and shiny objects and everything, what is it? It's nothing. It's a bubble of nothing. It's empty. It means nothing. It's false. It's fake happiness. It can't last. It doesn't last. It all runs out. It becomes mute and void and dull and boring and anticlimactic. Then you're looking for the next high. It's just like drugs. You're always looking for the next new high. Which dealer's got the better crack in town? It's exactly the same thing. You're all junkies. We're all junkies of some sort. It's a hard thing to admit to yourself, isn't it? First, you have to recognise the problem before you can solve it. If you don't think you've got a problem, then you're never going to advance. You're never going to evolve spiritually. You're about as deep as a puddle. If you don't recognise you've got a problem, then I guess you don't have one, eh? But your life sucks. Everyone's life sucks. Why? Because the sheeple don't think they have a problem until the problem affects them. Oh, I want me guns. They're taking me guns. They took mine fucking long time ago. They keep taking them off me. I keep getting them back. They keep taking them off me. Any excuse they can find. Why? It's not me, per se. It's legislation. Writing us into criminality. But we're not criminals. Not unless we've done something to somebody. We're not a criminal. Is somebody going hungry because of you? No, you're not a criminal then, are you? Like, is somebody disenfranchised or disadvantaged because of you? No. If the answer's no, I'm sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble, of unwarranted guilt, but you're not a criminal. You've been made to feel guilty through social engineering. You've been made to feel, I don't want to be judged through social engineering. You don't want to be singled out. You don't want to be labelled something. You do realise that you're putting a label on yourself by doing that, right? You're putting yourself into a category. It's called pussification. It's called being a sheep. It's called being a... Just let that sink in for a bit. Look deep inside yourself. Look really deep, real hard. Just, am I living a life or am I just supporting a system? What am I doing every day? The most finite and valuable resource that you have is time. Not time on the clock. The time that you are wasting on your parents, on your mum and dad, and they don't even realise because they told you know, you go to school, you leave school, you get a good job and you get married and you slave your guts out for the rest of your life to not actually really own your house that you can't pass on to your kids now. The 2.5 kids, the white picket fence and the 3 cars and the jet ski. You can only drive 1 car at a time. You never get to ride your jet ski because you're too busy working to pay for it on your credit cards, to pay the bank back. For what? The future happiness that never comes. Let's stop chasing happiness. Start realising the bliss of contentment. Enlightenment has got nothing to do with ending up floating around in space like an astral travelling out-of-body experience. It's fantasy. It's science fiction pipe dreaming. All these people taking peyote and ayahuasca and all that sort of bullshit and microdosing on weird things. Have you ever wondered why you all see the same little demons, little clockwork elves and shit, and their cheekies? You ever wondered why they all say the same thing and explain and describe the same thing? I think it's something you ought to leave alone. There's nothing enlightening about it. Some veils ought not be pierced. What do they bring back from those strange trips? Blueprints for technology, blueprints for AI, blueprints for drones, blueprints for splitting the atom, blueprints for the Large Hadron Collider, CERN, nuclear weapons. Some veils ought not be pierced. Leave that shit alone. Leave it alone. It's bad for you. It's bad for everyone. All you little technocrats out there that are looking all concerned, I don't think it can be stopped, and there's a 20% chance that it'll destroy humanity and mankind as we know it. Why are you still going ahead with it then? Who do you serve? What's going on there with you lot? Why would you go ahead with something that you had such a... Would you get in an aeroplane if there was a 20% chance that it was, in all likelihood, 20% likelihood that it was going to crash and you was all going to die? Would you get in that plane if you knew that in advance? Like, it's not real smart, is it? It might be clever that a plane can fly, but if there's a 20% chance that it's going to crash and you're all going to die, probably a good idea not to get on that plane, isn't it? How do we stop it? We stop feeding the machine. We just stop feeding it. They need our money to make that happen. They need our permission to make that happen. We grant it permission. We enact. We fuck around with it. You just get on your chat GPTs and your Gronk and all that. Yeah, I'll call it Gronk. Puts the honk in Grok. The honk in Gronk. Gronk AI. Only a Gronk could fucking use it. You know how selfish that is? Have you ever thought about just how selfish it is to engage in something that's probably going to destroy everyone? What, do you have so little care, so little value to your children's lives that you're prepared to fuck around with something? Okay, you want to fuck around with your life? Go fuck around with your life. Go and learn a hang glide or something without an instructor. Go learn how to pack your own parachute on YouTube and jump out of a plane. How selfish. How selfish. The audacity to go along with something with zero consideration to anybody else as to whether it's a good or a bad thing or not. But it's 100% selflessness and 100% consideration to everyone to go, yeah, perhaps we need to start living for one another instead of ourselves. Walk away from this bullshit. It actually is that simple. Yeah, I know. I know, mate. I know. I know. There's so many people that just can't seem to live without government interference in their lives. They need to be governed. They need to be managed. Because, hey, they'd rather go to their meaningless job every day to... For what? For what? To put food on the table and have no life, not be present, not have a relationship with your family. Most families nowadays are just a bunch of strangers with the same genetic code living under the same roof that end up with two mums or two dads or dad not there, broken homes. Tell me I'm wrong. You know I'm right. I've been through a lot of soul searching, a lot of pain, and made a lot of mistakes myself. And I had to swallow a lot of bullshit and spit a lot of shit out to finally admit things to myself. Unless you recognise the problem, how are you going to fix it? Unless you recognise that you're the problem, how are you going to fix it? This isn't about your guns, your religion, sanctimonious, pompous, condescending bastards. It's not about even about you. This is not, not everything's about you. Yeah, not everything's about you. Okay? Most people that say, not everything's about you, think everything's about them. When you realise that none of this is about you, none of this is about me, it's when you realise it's about us. It's about us. Mankind. What race? There is no race. It's just mankind. There is no race. It's made up. It's another made up construct. Religion and politics is a new racism that we dare not talk about because it might be racist. The psyop itself is a psyop. When that penny drops, you seriously, when that penny drops, it's not only liberating but fucking terrifying at the same time. Why is it terrifying? Because you realise the people you care about are getting dragged along with it. And you can't awaken them from their slumber. As they run around with their picket boards and picket lines and sandwich boards and flags and bullshit. The tribalism. Claiming to be awake. Ha! Give me a break. Give me a break. You'll know when you're awake when you walk away from it. And you start walking your own. You actually start walking the path. The path. Not your path. The path. Not his path, not her path, not their path, not the path you're told you have to walk. The one that you just automatically start walking and it feels right. The path. I mean, it's not hard to navigate. It's straight and narrow. It's really not hard to navigate. Once you wander away from it, you end up falling down into a bunch of rabbit holes. We spoke about the rabbit holes. Rabbit holes are full of rabbits. They're there to lead you astray. Stay out of them. Stay out of the rabbit holes. Don't follow the white rabbit. Neo did that and look what happened. He ended up just in another control system. The other side that fights against the system constantly, like he's all go on about how the Matrix is a documentary, and you're all completely missing the point. There's two sides of a system. It's a system, and there's this side, the agents, and this side, Zion, the Zionists, like Zion. And they just keep clashing and fighting and clashing and fighting. And who wins every time? The system just keeps repeating over and over. How many times in the last... How many times did Neo keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back? Because there's one choice that he just couldn't make. He couldn't choose humanity over Trinity. He couldn't make the hard choice. Now what that representation is? He couldn't choose mankind over his own selfish needs. His own selfish want. He couldn't let Trinity go. Both pills are a control mechanism. That's why I keep saying to people, the third choice is the obvious one that everyone's missing. No pill. They yank him out of the Matrix, he's sitting there, no pill. He's in the construct or whatever. You take this pill, you go here. You take the blue pill, You go there. Hello? He was free for but a moment to make his own decision, to choose for himself. I wonder what would have happened had he got up and just walked out of the room. If you want to use, because a lot of people use that as a euphemism. A lot of people use that, they say it was a documentary. They say, you know, okay, if you want to be a Mad Hatter and go down that road, think about it with your critical mind instead of what the echo chambers keep telling you. It's just another control mechanism, another system. Discernment. Where does discernment come from? Conscientious thinking. Where does conscientiousness come from? Your conscience. God's discernment. That's why they call it God-given discernment. Your conscience, conscientious thinking. With a critical mind. Not with a calculating brain. Not with a programmed brain. Use your conscientious mind.